Osiris.
Welcome to Flock Talk, the ultimate jam band community podcast where the grooves are endless and the vibes are infectious. Join the Femme Flock as we dive deep into the lifestyle, culture, and community of the colorful world of jam bands, everything that makes the genre truly unique. This episode, we're joined by bass powerhouse Karina Rykman to talk about her musical journey, staying authentic in a male-dominated industry, her love for live music and community, and getting ready for her biggest headlining show yet at Webster Hall. So grab your glitter, bubble guns, and best show fit and join us on Flock Talk, where the people make the scenes sparkle.
Howdy, Femme Flock listeners. It's the guys from WTED Goose Radio.
And we want your voices to be heard over the air.
As an internet radio station powered by a greater fan community, we take pride in representing all Goose fans and the variety of experiences we all have with the band.
Which means we need a fresh lineup of female-identifying voices to offer insightful perspectives and opinions for the various shows and original programming that we air daily. It's as simple as listening to a show, recording a few segments of commentary on your smartphone, and getting them over to us through our email address or through Google Drive.
Going on tour with the band? We also need instant reaction commentary while the band is on tour so we can air fresh soundboard recordings as soon as they drop.
Looking to take flight at a higher altitude? We'll even let you curate your own set of Goose tracks in a playlist geared more toward our original programming.
And don't worry about the editing process. We'll take care of that for you.
So whether you're in attendance at a show or just streaming at home, there's always a chance to get involved at WTED Goose Radio.
Because anyone can gorp.
So come check out the Wisteria Lane community at community.wisterialane.org to see how you can get involved with the station. Or reach out to us anytime via email. Our address is wted@wtedradio.com.
With your help, we can continue to keep it TED at WTED Goose Radio, which is important.
Because a TED space makes for a proper headspace.
Gorp is a descriptive term for a person that lends their voice to WTED Goose Radio, deriving from the acronym for Goose Obsessed Radio Personality. Download our award-winning app and find us on Blue Sky at wtedradio.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Flock Talk. This is Nikki, and today we have Jess and Leighton, and we are welcoming the one and only Karina Rykman. Welcome to the pod, Karina. We're so excited to have you. Let's just start from the top. Where are you recording from today?
Hey, Nikki, thanks for having me, guys. This is so delightful. I am recording from my native New York City. I'm home. I'm chilling for 2 seconds. And by chilling, I mean writing. I'm writing music. But this is a lovely Sunday, and thanks for having me, taking up time out of your valuable weekend to chill with me. This is wonderful. Thanks, guys.
We can tell it's New York with the sirens.
Hear that siren, right? Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna hear it. They're gonna hear it
every time. That's okay.
That is perfect timing, though.
I know, right? I'm like, oh look, I wasn't lying, guys. I wasn't lying. There's a real Holy shit.
So let's jump in real quick. Talking about New York City. You grew up in New York City, correct?
I did. I'm born and bred, baby. I'm born and bred.
Awesome. So being in New York, do you think that affected how you grew up and your exposure to music? How was the household that you grew up in? Was it more of a music household or more of an intellectual household? Bring us through that process of growing up in New York and how that's affected you.
Sure. I'm such a hardcore New Yorker and like such a, I'm really I wear it on my sleeve in a big way, and I'll never leave ever. I don't care what happens. I'm just, I'll figure it out. And I grew up, it's funny you said musical or intellectual, which is hilarious because like my parents are literally intellectuals, and my dad's a philosopher and teaches at Columbia and writes books and gives lectures and, is a brainiac. And my mom's the head of the French department at Barnard. Yeah, I come from a very not musical and very academic family. My parents are the coolest people ever. They're so, you know, whenever I tell people, they're like, oh my God, sounds so like stringent or whatever. And it couldn't be less the case. Somehow they're brilliant and they have enormous brains. And as such, they sort of, they're smart about life as well as the shit that they're interested in. Do you know what I mean? Like they're so, you know, when they saw me show kind of an insane, almost psychotic interest in my one thing that I cared about, which is music, you know, they were very much like, oh, awesome. Like, yeah, that's Karina's thing. There was never, ever any sort of like, well, maybe you should, you know, think about doing something else. There was like, if they were here, they'd be like, huh, try to stop her. You know what I mean? That was the other thing. I was definitely that kid. I had an incredible childhood in this way, and I grew up on the Upper West Side, and you know, my parents sort of had me late in life, such that like they had their shit together by the time that they had me, you know what I mean? And I never wanted for anything, man. I just like really was super loved, well taken care of, and showed a very deep interest in rock and roll from the time I was like it got serious when I was like 11 or 12. But even before that, like I was super into music. There were these, now that I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, there were signs, you know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah,
all kinds of little things. But I got my first guitar. I was playing my neighbor's shitty flea market $3 acoustic guitar that I borrowed for a while, like whatever. And I was like getting good on that, which was hilarious. And I had my friend Bobby put a guitar in my lap at recess and famously taught me Seven Nation Army in 8th grade. And so those were the years there where, you know, I was just getting, and the second that happened, I had blinders on for the rest of the world. Like it was just like from one moment to the next, I was like, oh wow, that's it. You know, that's what I care about. And that's who my friends are. And that's who my community is. And now that I'm older, I understand how lucky this was, because I know so many people didn't have this. But I found my people at a young and early age, and it was all because of music. It was only because of music. To this day, I'm still friends with these people. And of course, more. But, you know, every single good thing in my life, I trace back to this absolutely psychotic interest in music that I developed early, you know? And so it was just cool. Right. And now, I don't know, my best friend, Isaac, we lived together for the last like 10 years. I just moved out and moved in with my boyfriend. But, you know, Isaac and I have been friends since we were 12, and we have been playing music together and seeing music together and just obsessed with music since such a young age. And Gabe, my producer, we went to high school together. I sit with him in a small room every single day and write music. And that's just so fucking cool. Like, I don't know, I have these like relationships that are long standing. And I don't know, I see a lot of like my friends who never found like their posse. And I super get that. And it's fucking hard. But like all that stuff just took me away from like the kind of shitty side of New York City private school, which, trust me, is it's
a whole nother world.
It's incredible, and there's a lot to like about it, but there's a lot that's very off-putting. And it was, you know, for me, like this whole scene just took me right away from all the thins that I found off-putting about stuff like that. So
that's awesome, though.
Totally.
Yeah. So what got you to the bass from the guitar?
You know, I did start on guitar, but very quickly thereafter, I was sort of in like a million bands, and it was like, you know, I was in like 2 bands playing guitar and 2 bands playing bass, and I was just like whatever was needed, I was flip-flopping and being versatile. But I didn't see myself as a bass player until I was 21, and I got the gig with Marco Benevento.
Oh.
And when I started playing with Marco, which was a huge honor and is a huge honor and just like changed everything for me. I thought I was going to be a chick who like worked in the music business up until then, even though I was playing like crazy and did all kinds of crazy gigs and whatever, but there was still like not like a clear path forward for me to be a professional musician, quote unquote. But when I got the gig with Marco Benevento, which was given to me by Dave Drywitz from Ween, and J-Rad, and he was the bass player in that band, and he kind of had to step away when Ween came back because they were disbanded, but they came back in 2016. And he said, Marco, the only person I want to fill my shoes is Karina. And Marco was like, that sounds great. And from that, I was just like, whoa, okay, just drop the guitar, drop it, bass player. I'm a bass player. I have to be a fucking good bass player now. Like, yo, I'm playing with the greatest musicians on the planet. Like, I'm like, oh shit, fuck. All right, here we go. So literally that sort of changed the way I see myself, you know, and that's not to say I play guitar every day. I write on guitar. And when I play on Seth Meyers, they hire me as both a guitar player and a bass player, you know. So I've done guitar gigs in the last 10 years and whatever, but like now if you ask me, like there's like this like piece in Bass magazine coming out about me in like 2 days. So I'm like, okay, yeah, and like I'm a bass player.
You're a bass player.
Totally.
It's been decided.
That's the vibe.
Do you feel like growing up in New York, I feel like you get exposed to so many things. New Yorkers are built different. Just
Sure.
born and raised New Yorkers. Were you exposed to different types of music and like self-expression in the city? Like, when did you find your path, like your genre, what you wanted to write?
I'm still finding it. That's the beauty about our sort of scene. I feel so emboldened to be my eclectic self in a lot of ways. But I will say, I mean, I'll say a lot. Get ready. Get ready. Because the floodgates are about to fucking open. Okay, so here we go. I mean, yes, growing up in New York City and I didn't realize this when I was younger because it was just normal to me. I didn't know anybody who wasn't from New York City. Like it was just like, who do you go to school with? Who do you see in your building? Who are your neighbors? This is life. But then you get a little older, and even I went to NYU, so I never left Manhattan, but you meet people who are not from there and you're like, oh shit, I think I had a very singular
Yes,
upbringing.
you did. You really did.
It's true. It's true. And you learn and you know, I find another interesting thing is just like, you know, somebody from the suburbs of Wisconsin and the suburbs of Pennsylvania and the suburbs of Texas and the suburbs of the whatever had a more similar upbringing than me, no matter where it is in the country, because a suburban upbringing,
Right.
you know, you have your little car, you have your little house. This is my house. This is your house, our car. We go to school, we do the thing. And like,
Yep.
it's normal. And there's the garden hose and you got a little backyard and like whatever the fuck, like, you know what I mean? All things I didn't have. We never had a car. There was no comparative sort of like, it's very different in that way. You don't see people's possessions on their sleeve in that way. Like you're not driving past, you know that somebody lives in that apartment building, okay, or like you're invited over, but it's
Yeah, but that could mean anything.
it could mean a lot. And cars are sort of not a thing. Like we don't think about them, we don't have them. Like some people do, but like, okay,
Yeah.
good luck with that. Basically, like it's like you use that when you like drive upstate or whatever the fuck. Like it's not like part of your daily shit, unless it is. But again, semantics. But it was interesting how I learned that this was sort of unusual, you know what I mean? And so yeah, in that you get exposed to everything off rip, like food
Yes.
and of course music and culture and like all of
You get really independent from a young age. Your parents like, okay, you're gonna take the subway, bye.
totally. And you can walk, that's it, like you can walk 10 blocks, you know what I mean? Like you can be with your friends and walk 20 blocks, like, you know, when you're young, we used to rip it up on my block. Like I grew up in an apartment building with, you know, 15 floors and 4 units per floor. Like just picture Halloween, like picture like trick-or-treating on every floor and whatever. But like the friends that I had in my building, you know, we used to skateboard up and down the block and play fucking games and bikes and scooters, anything with wheels on them. Like, I don't know, it was like a whole amazing fun thing because the population density just in that one building, there's 64 units or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, well,
Your closeness and the proximity is much more intense in a city like that than say like suburbia Detroit, which is where I grew up, where you can't, there's some people in your neighborhood, but most of it is spread like in a 10-mile radius. You
totally. And you don't live vertically.
exactly, you don't live on top of each other.
So I was just like, I'm going to call Noah from 14C. I'm going to call Jamie from 9A. You know what I mean? We were all like, meet you downstairs in 5 minutes. All right. It's cool. Like, I don't know. There's something unique about it. I'm rambling about all that because we need to get back to the crux of the shit. So yes, we're exposed to so much stuff because there is such intense density of stuff. So whether that's culture or food or music, people, the richest, the poorest, it's in your face. You can't avoid it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I feel like I was just fucking young and exposed to a ton of different music for sure. And I don't know, I consider myself eclectic to a fault, almost, in the sense of like, I love so much different music and like still do. And honestly, you know, the Beastie Boys were so big for me growing up, and the record Paul's Boutique, credited as being, you know, one of the greatest displays of sampling of all time, right?
Absolutely.
I learned so much through Paul's Boutique. Like, and I was one of those like super fucking nerdy about, I wasn't nerdy about school at all, but I was very nerdy about music. And I was like, okay, like this is the record. I'm hearing all this stuff. I recognize this song in there, you know what I mean? And I was going to download all the samples on it. And I was like, then finding out about the Bar K's and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and all this crazy ass shit that I was like young and figuring out, you know? So I think that's a really emblematic thing about how, you know, of course, Beastie Boys, nothing's more New York than the Beastie Boys too. Like,
Right on.
let's just call a spade a spade. So you have like this fucking, the three bad brothers you know so well, sampling the shit out of music from 1950 till their present day, you know? And, I just learned so much from that. That was already super, super interesting. But I mean, look, as I stand before you today, when I go to write, you don't know what's going to come out. It can be so poppy. It can be so rocking. It can be heavy. It can be jazzy. It's funky. Like, you know, I really run the gamut. But now I'm like way more confident in the idea that that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
That
okay.
works.
Like at first I was like, oh, people aren't going to get it. They're just not going to get it. And guess what? Like they're getting it.
Yeah.
Which is rad, because it goes through the Karina filter now. Even if I conceive of it as like, yo, this song is so different from this song. You guys know, because you guys love Goose, and I'm sure you like Fish or whatever, and like all these things, you know, these bands, and I'm a huge fan of both those bands for sure, but like Ween, and I, you know, there's a level of eclecticism in this scene
Yes.
that I don't take it for granted for a second, because I see my audiences and I see when I start rocking out, like more heavy and more like fucking Sabbath style or whatever, they're there. Yeah. And then if I want to get jazzy, they're there. And then when I sing my pop songs, they're like fucking singing them back to me. So it's cool. And I really appreciate that about the jam sphere, you know, even if what I'm doing is more psychedelic indie rock or whatever you want to call it, we jam for sure. And I love improvisation and all those things. And this is my very long-winded way of saying that, like, I just, I feel like my upbringing definitely kind of informed all this, but I am just the same 12-year-old excited about music kid.
Yeah. You don't really fit into a box.
I don't like them. I don't like them.
A lot of people have seen that though. Like it must feel really validating. You sit in with really cool people and are on stage with so many huge names in the jam scene and beyond. That just must be cool to feel like you've been doing this for so long, and now like it's not just you, but like your fans know your music and other bands. It's validating.
Noticing you. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I know that some bands like get burnt out and there's bad things that happen, whatever, but like I just can't imagine not soaking this up the way I like. It's just so crazy to me. Every second is crazy to me. And like it never, like even the moments that I know I'm like working, they don't feel like work. It feels like I don't have to do this. I get to do this. And it's just like, I think that every day I wake up, I know that.
That's
It
beautiful.
could all go away tomorrow, but it would have all been enough already, you know? And I just feel like I'm just at the precipice of like doing shit that's fucking awesome. And I don't know, I'm really stoked.
That's so cool to just be like so passionate about everything you're doing and love it.
A lot of people don't find that. It's super rare. And
Tell me about it.
I
right?
really get jealous because I know some people like that. I've never found that, unfortunately, but it's so cool to see in other people, especially in the music scene, who just constantly get inspired. Speaking of all the people you've been on stage with, though, I mean, you've been with people like Trey, Phil, and MMJ and all these beautiful bands. Do you have a favorite sit-in that you've done? Is there something like, I can't believe that's the one that was, mine exploded?
I mean, honestly, I've had so many that have blown my fucking mind, but I will say the most recent one, which was with My Morning Jacket at their festival at One Big Holiday. I'm a diehard My Morning Jacket fan since I was very young. I have a vivid memory of being super young, like 10, maybe 11, like, I don't know, with my green iPod mini on a skateboard on the Upper West Side, listening to the song One Big Holiday. With this like cool older kid at camp was into it, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, right on. And like, I don't know, like to have that vivid memory and then to be at the My Morning Jacket festival called One Big Holiday, and we opened for them a bunch last summer, right? And I sat in with them and I played One Big Holiday with them, and like that was insane.
Crazy.
So like
Full circle
whatever
moment for you.
Insane. And then so last weekend was OBH, and I did this. I was up there for like 17 minutes. That's the other crazy thing. It wasn't like boom. It was like, and there was a Pantera medley into a Jacket tune, into a bass off, into a Radiohead tune, back into the Jacket tune. It was just like so fucking far out. I don't know. I love those guys so much. It's almost obnoxious the way I love them. Actually, last night, dude, I stayed up so late last night writing lyrics, but I was watching the new Rig rundown of Jim and Carl and Tom, the dudes in Jacket, and I was just like, I'm such a fucking fan nerd. Like, I literally love them, but I love them as people, and they've been so cool to me, so kind to my band. I talk to Tom, the bass player, all the time, and I don't know. Yeah, that one really fucked me up. How about that? I will say that like MMJ is like really one of my favorite bands, and if Jacket was like, do you want to tour with us for the next 2 years? I would be like, yeah.
Sign me up.
I'd give it all up. I'd literally open for that. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, fuck yeah. I want to watch you play every night. I want to open for you. I love your fans. I love your community.
That's awesome.
I love the way that there's also a real mutual eclecticism between what they do and what I do. And I really, really was feeling my music and their music,
the connection,
being so simpatico, like, yeah, just fitting in so fucking well. And that's just a huge one. And I'm just like,
I could tell you.
Yeah, talk about pissing yourself. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? I love these guys. They're
Your
so
posts
good.
were pretty passionate. I was like, man, she's geeked as hell to be up there. I saw a bunch
I was.
of clips from it. I'm like, oh, this is so cool to see. I love seeing that kind of stuff. It just melts your heart. The people are so happy when they get to sit in with bands that they actually truly love. It's just, for fans, there's nothing better, I don't think, really.
Oh man, good, because I was feeling so heavy-handed. I was like, oh shit, I really just put my whole fucking heart on my sleeve with this post.
So good.
But also, like, yeah, I don't know, like,
That's okay. It's important to be authentic. It's how your fans connect with you. It's why we love you.
It's
Like,
something you can relate to, though. I mean, if you meet somebody that you've been looking up to for so long, it's something that kind of gives you a connection with a person. And somebody like you who's so public and social, that people are like, oh, she's just like us. She's just geeking out on the band that she likes. It's something that feels familiar to other people. I think that's why it's such a welcome thing to see.
sure. And I love that. And, you know, I will say that, like, I have a lot of musician friends that don't go to as much live music as I do. You know what I mean? And which is totally fine. And there's no right or wrong way. But I will say that, like, when I am home and I can go see live music, see it, not play it, see it. This is all I ever wanted to do with myself. Like, I wanted to be in those environments, and now I get to create them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I'm not creating them, I like to be in them because that's all I ever fucking like. People are like, damn, still going out fucking 5 days a week or whatever. I'm like, dude, I live in the greatest city in the world in which there is live music every single night of the highest and most incredible caliber. We're spoiled. We're just beyond spoiled. So I think it would be rude to not go.
Well, it fills your tank too. I mean, that's something that when I go to live music after it, I'm like, oh, it's like you're a whole new person because of it. You're just kind of re-energizing your core, so to speak, when you go to live music. And when you put out like you do on the stage, I'm sure going to music is a whole different experience. They're two different things that you need both of those to operate as a sufficient human in that world. So, I mean, I totally get it. You're in New York, so New York is
It helps.
everything for music.
everything.
Everything.
And I love to see, and I see, you know, I see the big shows for sure, but like I love going to see jazz. Like I like to go see.
What's your
hip
club?
hop.
Where can we find you?
The Vanguard. Go see me at the Vanguard. I go, you know, I'm like, my boyfriend works in the business. So he, you know, puts on shows at the Garden and the Beacon and Radio City. And so like, you know, I know that I'm spoiled and very blessed in this realm for sure. It's also really cool to like be with somebody who cares about seeing live music and like putting on and creating events for people to bask in the glory of the universe together.
Exactly.
And by the glory and bask in, I mean maybe escape from or pontificate upon or whatever you want to call it. It's what I believe in. And I know that sounds so heavy-handed and stupid,
No.
but what I like is I think that when we go into a space for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours with the set break, whatever it is, and we're all together and we're all singing our favorite songs or dancing to whatever it may be, like that's, you guys know, I don't have to explain it to
the
you.
collective joy.
The collective joy is
We're
sort
hitting
of,
it again.
those are those moments.
It's a theme we talk about very often.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. I know I'm talking to the right people about this. This is like, it's sort of the thing that makes everything worthwhile, you know, and everything feel like, you know, there's so many atrocities in the fucking world. And for 2 seconds, can we just be together, not talking to each other and just fucking, you know,
Enjoying it.
Human rhythm.
Soaking it in, dancing, being with your neighbors, your friends, people you don't know, but you enjoy the same things. It's a community.
It's inclusive. It's the most inclusive life force, if you ask me. Like music, it doesn't, you're there. Like, I don't know. It's a real thing. Not to get all woo woo on you ladies, but come on.
The
We're here
connection.
for it.
True. That's
some
why
real
we
shit.
go. That's why we
love it.
go.
Especially with you as an artist, going to shows clearly is a way that you recharge, which I feel like is so cool because we don't really know. We know that you guys listen to other music, but like how often are you going to see shows? But your shows specifically are so high energy and upbeat, and you are dancing. You are probably burning 1,000,000 calories. What else do you do to recharge when you're not performing?
It's a great question, Leighton. I'm semi-normal in the sense of like, we love seeing live music, but I like to sit still for 2 seconds sometimes, you know, after like a,
What? What's that like?
I know it's shocking, right? I know we're all shocked. After one of these like big things that you like come back from and you've flown with the bass and the band and the people, and then it just like goes and you're back in your home. I can decompress for an evening like the best of us. Like I can definitely sit on the couch and watch whatever. Normally, I mean, it's funny because we'll just watch. I love to watch interviews and like gear shit, you know, like stuff.
You're
people
still
talk about.
working. You're not.
I'm still totally like this is funny. I'm saying this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really great at relaxing. I'm just only thinking about music. And then last night again, I was dying because like, okay, like a night like last night, right? This is a random Saturday. I've been working all week long in the studio writing music, right? But I knew that I needed Saturday and Sunday to fucking chill because I've been burning the candle at both ends. Some of these days of the week I've been in the studio all day with my producer, and then I go to rehearsal with my band after that and play with my band. So like these are like, we're talking like 12-hour days, long fucking intense creative period for me, right? But last night I sat on my couch. I definitely worked on some lyrics, I'm not gonna lie to you, but okay, I sat here and I watched a Herbie Hancock video from the 70s that was like 90 minutes long, and then I watched Nikki Glazer on Howard Stern, and I watched the MMJ fucking Premier Guitar Rig Rundown thing, and that was a very relaxing evening for me, Leighton, you know? So, but here's the other thing I like to do, okay? I'm a simple woman. I like music, I like eating well, I'm a big food.
That's literally why I live there. I get it.
That's why we do it.
You post some good pictures of food, which I love. I love.
Do more of that.
I mean, okay, done.
New York,
done.
Your food there. Whenever I go, I always like plan ahead of where I'm going to eat, just because there's so many options, and if you don't do that, you end up getting stuck in that paralysis of there's everything. What do I do? So
It's hard. Yes.
Wait, can I ask what's your favorite current New York City restaurant?
Oh my God.
Or like top 3? I know I can't answer that question.
I mean, it's like ridiculous, right? I should shout out my people at Cullen Pistol. That is the seafood restaurant in Chelsea Market.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Shout out Dave Siegel, who is our fucking, you know, I literally kidnapped him in December and made him my tour manager for a weekend. The chef, you know what I mean? And yeah, oh yeah, like I'm out of control. He's like a mascot of the band. Like he is like such a fundamental part of Karina Incorporated, and like
That's amazing.
Yeah, totally. So like, you know, and at my sold out racket show last year, he brought.
I was there.
Yeah, girl, let's go.
Of course.
he brought 200 oysters and all this caviar and all this shrimp cocktail, and like backstage after the show.
All right, I'm coming backstage from now on.
Yeah, well, you got to cancel your El Gonzo trip, babe. I don't know what to tell you.
I think I need to. Oh my God.
I don't even know what's going to happen for Webster. It's actually really obnoxious, but that type of thing. So anyway, Dave Siegel is our guru. He is our fucking guy. So shout out Cullen Pistol. Go there for your seafood needs in New York City. Like, you know, I'm an oyster junkie. I'm a raw bar junkie, whatever. I will say, I just got taken to Don Angie, and shout out Scott and shout out Aaron. And that is a crazy establishment, and it's impossible to get into. Yeah. They spoiled us rotten, and I was like, holy fuck, this is ridiculous. So
was that your first time going, and you're in New York City?
First time. Yeah. I've never been. Dude, it's hard to get into.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I haven't been.
you can't even like, pick a date, 4 months in advance.
No, it doesn't work that way.
I'm like, I think I'll just not go. You know what I mean? So that was insane. We went a couple weeks ago. It was fucking ridiculous. Oh my God. I mean, dude, we're spoiled. Mm-hmm. And I just, I don't know. I don't know. I cook a lot. I'm nasty in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah?
I am out of control. Yeah.
What do you make it?
Awesome.
Oh, I make it all, babe. But I'm like, if I can roast some vegetables in the oven, like real nice, whatever, get you like a steak, like the most beautiful steak, still mooing, baby. Let's go. We want it real rare.
Can I come over and film you cooking, and we'll do a TikTok segment of Karina in the kitchen?
I would literally love. You should come. Maybe tonight.
Awesome. I'm at my parents in Connecticut this weekend. I'll be back tomorrow. And yes, I'm going to come over, and we're making TikTok videos of you cooking.
Done. Amazing. I'm ridiculous. Let's do it.
Perfect. Yeah, do you bake too? Or do you just cook like meals? Are you a baker?
No baking. No baking.
Okay. Baking is not, baking is chemistry. Cooking is love.
That's what I'm talking about, Jess. There you go. It's actually funny. I'm a trash baker. Like, I don't know. There's something about the baking soda and the fucking flour.
No. Cooking is just heart.
Totally. I love when people bake for me. Oh, yeah. It's wonderful. I am all about that. But no, I'm more of like there's a protein. Maybe there's some, there's a starch. Whatever it is. I will tell you, actually, Jess, what we should do is omelets. Yeah, great. Breakfast.
Okay.
I'm a savage for breakfast.
I live in Williamsburg. I'll be over any day.
This is ideal. We'll do it. We'll make it rain.
I'm holding you to this because we need some better social content. Our TikTok, we're just getting up and running now that we have Leighton here.
Yeah. Leighton making it happen.
Literally. No,
thank God. Yeah.
But we need some fun, unhinged content. So
perfect. I'm ready. I have an apron. Let's go. I'll get a chef's hat. We'll figure this out.
I'll bring you a chef's hat. You don't even bring me a chef's hat. Done. All right. Perfect. We have a date.
I love
this. This is amazing.
We could continue though, because there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about, especially as a woman in a historically male scene. This is something that we talk about a lot. It's not easy. You're building a business, a brand. Do you think being a woman changes how you lead compared to some of these male-led bands, or how you hire or collaborate with people? Is this something you think about?
Sure. I mean, it's like a singular thing for sure. And I'm well aware that I'm the only woman on one of these, festivals. I'm very much okay, I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like backstage, and I know it's not lost on me, and I definitely feel like I have a bit of a responsibility, to women, to just be an absolute savage. I play music. Okay. These are dudes, they play music. I just I don't know, kind of almost oblivious in a lot of ways. And especially I don't know, growing up, I had predominantly, I will say, male friends and male bandmates, and that was just sort of what was around. That's, you can't pick and choose who's into music around you. You know what I mean? You're okay, here we go, But now, I don't know, I think there have been a lot of women who say to me dude, you being the truest version of yourself makes me emboldened to be the truest version of myself. Or I remember hearing somebody say something like that to me for the first time, and I was like, whoa, shit, that's heavy and crazy. And if I can be that person for young women, older women, whoever it is, that's incredible. And we should all just be doing exactly what moves us and what we are called to do, you know, whether that's this woman being a lawyer or this woman being a doctor or being a marketing executive or being a cellist. There's no right or wrong way. I just fell hook, line, and sinker into music, and that's what I've done.
Yeah, but like it's super inspiring to see, I don't know, women in the world aren't always like encouraged to be their true selves. And you show up as you every day on stage, and usually on a stage full of men.
Yeah, you don't edit yourself. I think that's very obvious about you, that you don't
I don't want myself.
You don't edit yourself to fit into what they're doing. It's just you. You're just gonna be you from then and play as you. And that's what's beautiful to see, is that it doesn't seem to be something that is affected by how the men around you are. So you don't seem to change how you act as in front of your band or in another band or in front of a group of men or with women. You are just being you no matter what we see you as. And that's what's beautiful about it. And I think that's what's inspiring about it, is that we're not seeing a different version of you no matter where you go. It's always Karina. And
it's true. And I'll tell you what, Nikki, you'll see the same version of Karina that you see on stage at the grocery store. Like
that's what we love.
Like the real, like true, like, and I don't know why I won't change for anybody. Like it's not a gendered thing. It's not like, I come in hot as myself every day, and I don't give a fuck.
Has anybody in the field of music said to you, hey, we need you to do it this way instead of a way that you had been presented?
Totally. I have two good stories about that, actually. And when I just said what I said, that's definitely true. I show up as Karina every single time, but I know that when I come in as a hired gun, you can't come in like, yo, what's up, motherfuckers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta sort of, even though maybe I did a couple times, but I learned my lesson. You know, when I do the Seth Meyers thing, I very much know that I have to I'm a hired musician, okay? Like, it's not the Karina show, it's fucking Seth Meyers, and I'm being in the background. So it's not like I come in crazy hot in that whatever way. But if you ask the guys on the show, like if you ask the bandmates that I have on the show, they'd be like, no, like Karina comes into rehearsal like a freight train for sure. But on stage, like, I'm not jumping around, I'm not doing my normal bullshit, I'm doing the thing, I'm smiling for sure because I can't help that, but like, you know, I'm a toned down version of myself. I will say that one time I got hired to play acoustic guitar on the Today Show, backing up Julia Michaels, the pop star.
Yeah.
You know her?
Okay.
Yeah. And so I did that, and it was Dan Cantor, who used to be Justin Bieber's guitar player and musical director and stuff and whatever. He put me up to it, and he was like, yo, do you want to do this? And I was like, I would love to do this. So I do it. It was one of these like 5 a.m. call times, very much not a Karina hour to be awake, right? But like, so I like get it together. I go to the thing, and like I'm meeting these people for the first time, except for Dan, who was there. But like, I didn't even think that I was like coming in hot. Like in my head, I was just being myself. And I, you know, crushed the gig. Gig was great. Everything was awesome, blah, blah, blah. But then like the next day I saw Dan again. He was just like, dude, you killed it. That was awesome. Julia was like, dude, that guitar player was awesome. Who was that? She cursed a lot. I liked her. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know, like one of those like moments where I'm not thinking about that, or like at this 5 a.m. call time at the Today Show, like, but like,
you just showed up as you.
Was I probably like, what the fuck is that motherfucker? I'm Karina? Like, you know, like I probably was literally absurd. Being unequivocally yourself doesn't mean not reading a room and like being like fucking, like I'm respectful. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like a complete savage, but like when I'm doing my thing and making my art and paving my way, am I just doing it exactly the way I want to? Yeah. I'm literally doing it exactly the way I want to, which is the greatest gift of all of this for me. And the fact that I'm able to do that, and somehow people are liking it, and my audiences are getting bigger, and I'm getting booked on these things, and without ever sacrificing anything, you know, of myself. Like, because by the way, if I did, I'd stop. I'd become an investment banker tomorrow. I'd make some fucking money. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I would, like I do this because I love to do whatever I want.
Right.
This is a platform for me to do exactly that. It's like the craziest thing that I've stepped into in my life. But like, you know, the second it stops being fun, like I didn't get into rock and roll to follow rules. I hate rules. They fucking suck. And if I'm going to follow rules, I might as well make a shit ton of money doing something. I got degrees.
Did you study music at NYU?
I did. I did. But I studied like music business and, you know, all that.
Do you feel like that you've had to navigate your career in a way that's different than like if you were a dude? Like, does it affect what jobs you're taking, or do you have to fight for equal pay? Do you even know? Is it something you think about? If not, like, we're lucky, but I don't know. I just feel like as a woman, we're very lucky we're in New York City first.
Yeah.
Like,
Very,
I feel
very,
like
very.
we fight less battles because we know when we talk about it and it's part of like our everyday discussions, at least in my circles. But like, I don't know, you play all over the country and you deal with people outside of the city all the time.
Sure. It depends. It super depends. And like, you know, for the most part, it's not at the forefront of my mind. You know what I mean? Like still, which is kind of a huge blessing.
Yeah, no, it is. It is a huge blessing. Like I don't think about it until those moments happen. And then I'm like,
absolutely.
oh my God, let's reevaluate everything.
I still have those moments. The most kind of whack shit that happens maybe is like when we load into a club, the merch table's over here is what they say. And I'm like, bitch, my name is on the fucking marquee. Like, what are you talking about? It's my shit. Like, this is my show.
I would
like,
lose it. I'm like, excuse me.
You know. Yeah, but I actually don't say that. I go, oh, thanks so much. And then I go on stage and I fucking rip and they're like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. And I'm
Which is
like,
what we have to do as women, keep our mouths shut and just like show them.
Assumptions.
I mean, you know, show don't tell, baby. Like, I'll fucking show. You know, it's all good. You pointed me in the direction of the merch table. I say thank you very much. I'll be on stage, like absolutely ripping shit and whatever. That's all. All those things are their problems, not yours, in a lot of ways. If you just flip it differently in your brain, you know what I mean? Just I feel like leading by example of, hey, I do a thing. My thing is music. Cool. Let's proceed.
Right.
Here we go. And like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've had stuff in my life where it's just been like maybe a more of an uphill battle for me because I'm a chick, but I've also probably had plenty of diversity hires that like, you know, people are like, well, we got to put Karina on because we need a woman on the thing.
It works in both ways. Like as much as it sucks to be like that token woman, at least you are recognized as like, oh, we need someone, like Karina's a girl. Doesn't matter how they opened.
Totally. And I definitely like, I'm not too proud to say that or like know that or admit that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, let's be really fucking honest about how many women are doing what I'm doing.
Right.
In this year. There's
how often do we see a woman on stage? I lost my shit at Dogs the other week when you popped up and I was like, oh my God. I know.
It's exciting. Look, if me doing this inspires young women to pick up instruments and start bands and fucking be bold and be fearless and do exactly what they want, that is the fucking best. You know what I mean? So like, let us just fucking hope that that's what's happening. And you know, the fact that I'm in a mostly male-dominated scene is what it is. But here we are doing it, and I am a woman, and we're fucking making it rain. If I'm getting gigs like, you know, because they need to, you know, the director of the festival is like, oh man, you know, this is a real sausage fest. We could really use Karina. Then like, fuck yeah, put me on that shit. Okay. I don't give a that's wonderful. Put me on that. I wish there were 14 other Karinas fronting jam-centric bands for us to think about, you know what I mean? But guess what? There aren't. So let me be that bitch. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Let me be that bitch.
That's the next t-shirt. Next Karina Rykman merch. I'm that bitch. Let me be that bitch.
We'll call a spade every time. I'm not here to be like, oh, wow, I just wish that there was like, yeah, we all wish. That would be fucking great. Bring it on. Young women, are you listening? Like, go do it. Just fucking do it. And give no fucks. Just go. Find your people, dudes, chicks. Anything, like make it happen. So I don't know. That's where I come from with all of it. It's just I am being unequivocally myself. And I'm so lucky to have found a voice, a niche, a thing that I love. I would be doing it, you know, regardless. I happen to be a woman and I'm fucking happy to be here and happy to pave the way. And there have also been, I mean, how many women have come before me?
No, and that's what we want to kind of bring to light is that there aren't a lot of women doing this, and there are obstacles that you're going to run into different than from guys. I mean, they have more competition, you really don't. So, I mean, it that's going to get you ahead. What's wrong with taking advantage of it?
I'm here, baby. I'm here. I'm just,
Exactly. You're that bitch.
saying yes
You are
or
that
no
bitch.
to the gigs that come in. Thank you.
We love it. Have you ever felt like, in that sense, have you ever felt underestimated? Like, well, we can put Karina here, but she might not be as big of a pull as so and so. Like, have you felt like that at any point?
Oh, sure. I feel like that all the time, actually. And maybe a great way, because nothing gives me more joy than being underestimated and then blowing the roof off the joint.
I
That's,
love that.
I mean, I feel like I think I have a lot to prove. Like, I don't feel like anything's just given to me at all.
Society telling you as a woman. None of the men feel that way.
Right. Well, fuck them. Like, watch me. Actually, but that's the fucked up thing. They do. They do. And there's a lot of friendly competition, and there's a lot of unfriendly competition, and there's a lot of, well, what are so and so doing? How do we do it better? And there's plenty of that goes on.
But there's room for everything. Music
I
is,
know.
or we talk about time. Music is everything. Like,
I know. I know. But I like to over deliver always. You know what I mean? I like to, and especially, I don't know, in this last little period, I've just had these kind of insane gigs with like heroes of mine, and opening for Dave Matthews in Mexico for fucking thousands of people that don't know me necessarily. I'm like, okay, like time to fucking show them like what are we about here. I think we crushed that. It went incredibly, but like all those things, I always I feel like that's sort of a musician-y quality too, especially people who like do the live thing. Yeah, we over prepare and we over deliver, or try to, and it's like decorating time, right? So like you have your hour to kill and you prepare for however long and in whatever ways you need to prepare to just have this hour go really well, and you fucking pray that there's no technical difficulties or you don't wake up in a bad way health-wise, or like some fucking horrible thing maybe happened and you have to shake that off and just be like, nope, out of my head, I gotta go, I gotta do it. I definitely feel underestimated a lot.
That just drives you to do more. I love that. Let's stick a little bit with this. How has your identity evolved alongside your music career, like growing pains, personal growth, your public image? How have you navigated that to be where you are today? Do you find that something that you've consciously made a attempt at keeping in one way, or have you like changed it based on where you were in the jam scene, or how has that worked for you along the way?
Very, very interesting question. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say there, but very much have felt very true to myself the entire time. And that's kind of utmost importance to me, is doing things that feel authentic and honestly, never doing an inauthentic thing, and in writing my own music, that was this big step that I took, that I had no idea it was going to lead me here. I had no idea people would listen and I'd have a thing under my own name. I was a sideman for forever. And then I wrote and put out my first song at 25. That if I could turn back time, I would have been like, Karina, you have to do this, and you have to be way more confident about it. And just because to me, like, I was very, very scared, and still am in a lot of ways, just about the second that you switch from being like a hired gun and a musician in somebody else's band or whatever you are, to being a singer-songwriter and putting things out under your own name, you open yourself up to the judgment of everyone, right? And you're just, this is my piece of music, this is my name, judge it, it's yours for the taking, you know what I mean? And that scared me, because I think, underneath it all, I definitely seek the approval of others, for sure. And also I love music of all varieties, right? From the heaviest of heavy metal to the softest of the singer-songwriters to everything in between, right? But I know not everybody else is like that. And so in the beginning, just like, well, how do you make universally likable music? And guess what? You can't. So that's a hard thing for me to come to terms with, because I just want everybody to be unified by my music. And I know that's fucking impossible. But the sentiment within that statement is very real to me. So I think throughout time, I've gotten to be a lot more of like more confident in what I'm doing and like more confident in the songwriting element. I've always been a confident live performer, and I know that I'm a good bass player. And I have incredible stage presence. Like I'll tell you that.
Good.
No, that I own that. I've always owned that. I know that I was scared to write songs. I was like, this is terrifying. And like when I
put yourself out there, that's not somebody else. That's you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say like, because I still struggle with this every day. Every day I struggle with this. And I'm like, it's so fucking hard. It's so intense. Like, this is so crazy, you know? And, you know, I use the word, I'm like, Karina, just, you know, lobotomize yourself. You're good. Like, just keep going, you know?
Get out of your head.
It's a silly way of saying, get out of your head, get out of your own way. You're shooting yourself in the foot. If you curb this desire that you have to just do, make, edit later, keep going. I just feel like I'm in a much better way with that as things have gone on. And that's been my like number one hard thing to grapple with, because I didn't start out that like in all my bands growing up. Like I was the instrumentalist that you wanted in your band, and I was also like the charming one and the one with all the friends who would get us the gigs, and I would, you know what I mean? Like I had a lot of there were a lot of pros to having me in the band, but like being the songwriter was not one of them. You know, I was always just adding tasty shit on top and hopefully being a nice presence in the band and bringing things to the table for sure. But now kind of like steering this ship and having it be my own name and doing the stuff, there's just been that central crux of it that's been hard, which is just like, Karina, you're a singer-songwriter. Even if you play bass and it's bombastic and crazy, like singer-songwriter connotes in your head, right? Like somebody with an acoustic guitar being like, eh. But it's like, no, like I sing and I write my own music. Like that's a thing, you know? And even, I don't know, my first song was called Plants, and it was a 5-minute long instrumental, right? And I was like, okay, let's put this out. I don't know what was going to happen. And then people like loved it. And it got like 1 million streams, just like a self-released thing. Like it got 1 million streams really quickly. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is nuts. But then I wanted to like subvert myself. And then this is 2019, right? It came out in June of 2019. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not just a 5-minute long heady instrumental. So then I put out Elevator, which was like a 3-minute super electro pop fucking vibe and whatever. So I was like, Elevator, let's go, you know? And the people were like, whoa, you know? And then I just kind of kept on every year for the next couple years there. I put out 2 singles a year that just kept on subverting the next one. You know what I mean? So it was like Plants and Elevator. That was 2019. 2020 was No Occasion, which is like my poppiest shit ever, except for Joyride, whatever, but that comes later. But No Occasion was funky, poppy, whatever. And then 2020, City Kids and Dirty South. So that was big year. And then the next year, this is 2021, was No Occasion and Arbitrary. And that's when I closed the floodgates. And I was like, okay, time to make a record. The record's coming. Like, we need to stop putting out 2 singles a year. Like, and I was building a career off doing that. Like, it was so
2 singles a year. That's pretty impressive.
I know, it was ridiculous. And I was getting all these gigs and opening for Krungbin and Guster and playing Halloween and playing with Mo and doing all this shit. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, what is going on? Like, and then headlining shows and like shows were selling out. I was like, this is nuts. That's when like Trey intercepted and was like, you need an album. And I was like, I know, I'm working on one. And he was like, oh. And then we kind of were off to the races from there. And so with the birth of Joyride in 2023, right, was just like, this was me being like, okay. And when I wrote the song Joyride, which by the way was the last song written for that record, and that's when it just, everything glued together. And I was like, this is so emblematic of me, all of this shit. But I was like, dude, this song is too poppy. Like, this song, are people going to just be like, what the fuck is she even doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was scared of the reaction, and now I wear it on my sleeve. If I had tattoos, I'd have Joyride across my back. Like, I'm so proud of this song. I'm so happy that my first record, like, just a word that could just, you know, be emblematic of like my whole shtick coming out the gate. Like, even though I had a few years of singles there, but like, this was like my first like record. Anyway, all that is to say, very long-winded way of saying that I've struggled with all the things and like all the ways that, like, you know, even if I sit here and I'm like, everything's amazing, I pitch myself every day, I do, but it's work, and it's work on your psyche to be like putting yourself out there every day, Trey said to me, he was just like, I put my, like, in terms of songwriting, you know, he's just like, my brain tells me I suck every fucking day. And I put myself on the tracks in hopes that I get hit by the train every day. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's so fucking true. You have to just be open to the idea that you'll get something good. You know what I mean? And it's a crazy, songwriting's hard, man. It's fucking hard. And it's crazy to stand behind your shit.
That's a beautiful gift that of creativity that people who can write songs just blows me away, because you can hear music all the time and be like, oh, that's so pretty. But when you put words to it, that's you. That's the person writing the song. And somebody has the ability to do that and to make it sound good on top of it. That's why we love you guys, is because it's not something that everybody can do. And it's it's a rare thing. And when somebody does it well, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. So we love your personal style. We are big fans of Karina fashion. So when you wear what you wear on stage, how does that play into your presence and how you're feeling? Like, do you have like, this is my favorite outfit, this is what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go to this brand? How do you come up with that so that it's a Karina show and Karina's looking as fine as she does?
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Well, I like to think about it as little as possible. That really helps. And
I love that.
As a New York City kid, because I feel like New York City fashion is special.
Sure. No, I mean, well, I got really lucky when I walked into Johnny Was on the Upper West Side one day. Do you know about this? You know about this? Okay, Jess knows about this. She's nodding. I walked into Johnny Was and I found these, like, honestly, I think they're like workout like things. I call them my space suits now. I have 4 of them. And
they're the big patterns, right?
Yeah, big patterns that are like
the one you wore to Racket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one, and I have 4 in different patterns now, and there's one that's the most iconic at this point, but I was just like, thank you, universe, for giving me some shit that I, like, it's like a uniform. Like, I was like, yes, this is awesome. And I just wore one of them for one of my Morning Jacket performances last week and whatever, and I was like, all right, is this getting played out? I don't know. Like, I'm like, fuck, all right, shit. But I love it. And it's so
They have some new styles they've released.
I've looked, babe. Trust me, I keep my finger on the pulse of all this stuff. It's just like nothing hits like this fucking 4 original spacesuits or whatever. So those have been a gift. So those have been a real gift. I'll say for the most part, Nikki, that like I'm not one of those people that like needs to put on their new skin as performer Karina to get in the zone. Like, I kind of wake up in the zone. Like, you could roll me out of bed in my bullshit fucking t-shirt and, you know, flannel pajama pants and put the bass on me and I'd be good to go. That's why, like, I've always been like this sort of like, I love performing. I love it so much. And as a kid, like, my 2 favorite things were the elevator and taxi cabs, because those are captive audiences. The people in the elevator, good luck to them. They're getting a routine. And the cab driver, he's getting a routine. Like, he's a captive audience. Like, you know? So for me, like that.
You were born for this, sister. You were born for this.
Oh my God.
I'm obsessed with that thought of like young Karina in a cab and the driver just being like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. No, nightmare for everybody, probably. Except they were always very nice, which is nice.
They're so nice. Of course they were. They probably loved it.
Yeah, either like a comedy routine or a song and dance routine or whatever. Like, yeah. Either making you laugh or being like, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Yeah. Everything's ridiculous. With that said, like, I definitely, like, I know a lot of performers, friends of mine even, like, need to go through the motions of, like, putting on their performer hat, their performer skin. And I'm not saying, like, when I look good, I'm like, fuck yeah. I know I'm getting photographed tonight and filmed tonight. Like, this is great. Like, I know, but it's honestly like more about like what kind of a hair day I'm having than like, I perform in a t-shirt and jeans like all the time. This is how I go to the supermarket too. And like, it's all good. Like, I'm ready to go regardless. A little flashy this, a little flashy that, never hurt nobody if you're me. And so, you know, I have like my go-to tops that I cycle through that I'm like, oh God, I need a stylist because I'm going to run out again.
I volunteer.
Jess would be really good at that.
Jess, help me. I'm just like,
I got you. I'm gonna start sending you. You're gonna You're gonna tell me to stop, but I'll start sending you
I
things.
love that. Please. I mean, it's hard, you know? And like a lot of my performer friends like have stylists and I'm like, damn, fuck.
You don't need it. You have a pair of like glittery bell-bottom pants that I can like think of. They're like rainbow striped. They are my favorite thing ever.
Let's go. Yes.
Like you don't need a stylist. You have it down yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Go with your gut. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Go with your gut because you're doing
Thank you.
fine. You're
I also,
doing just fine.
my one like really obnoxious thing, not one, I have a lot, but my one that I'll talk about right now is that I have an obnoxious collection of like high top sneakers
Oh, cool.
that I'm way into. And like, I would never, like when I do the me act, like there's no, like I have awesome boots with like heels and stuff.
Yeah, but you're running
I can't be
around.
wearing those, unfortunately. Like I really am doing laps. Like it's an athletic thing for me, you know what I mean? So I have a very solid collection of my high top sneakers that I am very obsessed with.
Have you thought about designing any? Like you put your own stamp on
I'm
some?
in. I mean, you know, that would be great. I'd love to. I'd love to. Let me just call the Golden
God.
Goose real quick and we'll get the Karina model.
Karina high
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, you could do a nice edition tour merch, high top sneaker.
You
I'd
think
buy
you buy
'em.
them? Oh my God. But then you have to have like
I would
all,
totally, but I love high
Ugh,
top
but then we have
sneakers.
to have them in all these sizes, you know what I mean? And then how do you
It
transfer?
doesn't have to be at the show, so we can do a pre-order
Oh,
situation.
cool. Okay, I like your style. This is going well.
Your merch, I hear, is off the charts awesome. How do you choose your merch? How does that happen?
I'm very, very particular about it. And I have like my go-to people that I like for designs and stuff like that. And I do it all limited. So that, and I've done that from the beginning. I've had like, even when I was really like, it's like, it was laughable that I even had a shirt, you know what I mean? But it was like, this is limited edition. When it's gone, it's gone. You'll never get it again.
Which
I
is
like that.
awesome. Yeah. Do you think about women when you're choosing what you're going to have for merch?
For sure. And I definitely like, I have like a new, like this ringer that's really, I think of it as more feminine, but like dudes rock it too, for sure. But I was like, okay, like this will be good for the women, I think too.
No, your merch is cute. I don't feel that way about every band.
Thank
I
you.
remember at Racket going up to just the table and being like, why would I buy every single thing on this table?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Like,
Thanks.
it just, you can tell like there was some thought into it.
There's a lot of thought that goes into it. And I'll tell you that merch is one of those things that it's crazy to be a band actually, and like have to, because merch, you have to have it, but you have to pay for it before you sell it, right? So like you're like, okay, shit. And if you over order your inventory and you're like way over your head in debt, and I feel really, really bad for bands starting out. To have merch, you have to put out so much money, like awful.
It's so important because like it's a huge money driver. Plus,
It will once
it's word of mouth.
It's advertising.
It's word of mouth advertising. Like,
Yeah, it's actually.
it's the most important. You need it. You need it. You need it. But it's you have to have balls of steel in a lot of ways, and you have to do it. Like I feel like that also, just like the economics of all of it, made me want to do it as limited batches, because it's just like, okay, like we're gonna not have crazy inventory. Also, New York City, I don't have a place to put this shit. Like, and now we have a merch company where it's like, okay, they send everything out, but didn't used to be that way. I used to send out every order by myself. Like that only switched over like rather recently. So like there's been a lot of limitations that actually serve you well, if you know what I mean. Like where it's like, okay, I'm going to do a limited run of this. Not only because I think that that's a dope model of like the people who get that Karina shirt at that moment in time,
They're never going to get it again
they
anywhere
feel
else.
special about it. That's it. Like, you know, whatever. That's cool. But also out of necessity and being like, I can afford more than this, and I have nowhere to put the stuff, and I'm sending out every order myself and going to at the post office all the time. Like,
I remember other bands doing that, and I'd be like, what are they doing? Oh, they're doing their own merch. You just didn't, it's not a connection most people make, but that makes total sense, because if you are going to be the one that's going to have to put everything out, you don't want to have crap that is extra and then figure out if you're going to sell it on sale or if you're just going to eat it, or that seems like a pain in the ass. So I think the limited edition is a smart way to go.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I take it all very seriously. I really, everything that comes out, it's not like I have like my managers being like, oh, let's put her name on some shit. No. Like I am the one who's like, hey, I got this design from Thundershout or from Pseudo Dudo or from, you know, I have like my people who I like really love working with, those two being two real ones.
Oh, yeah.
amongst others, you know, but I'm the one who's like, now it's time for this. And like now for Racket, I'm having like this new sick long sleeve with like checkers and my name down the sleeves, which are rad. I'm calling it the Fox on the Run long sleeve because there's foxes on it. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's going to be sick. And like Karina Rykman, New York City trucker hat with a lightning bolt on it. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I've never had a trucker hat. Let's go. I had these like psychedelic pastel dad hats I think they just sold out, but if it's going to have my name on it, I better approve it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Our community is pretty tight knit. The jam community is pretty special that way. How do you stay connected with fans? Has that ever helped you through a hard time? Do you get recognized a lot when you're out and about where you can connect with somebody at a show? How does that run for you?
It's pretty amazing, I would say, you know, and I've had different moments of, especially in the whole going to shows thing. Like when I go to see I see a lot, as we've discussed in this podcast, I see a wide variety of music, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of which I don't get recognized at all, which is totally awesome. But yes, when I go and see Fish, which I do often, at least 10 shows a year, I basically average for the past 15 years of my life. And if I go see Goose or I go see Dead & Co. or the Allman Brothers, anything like that, like I do get recognized at these things. And then sometimes I get recognized like at things that I would never expect. Like I got really fangirled at Pearl Jam last year, which I was really
cool.
I'll say that I've had I'm generally fucking stoked. And like anybody who wants to talk to me, anybody who wants a photo, I'm so game for that always. I've had dips in moments. And I'd say I'm not in one of the, like right now, if like, you know, I'm going to go see Spangle tonight. Like if somebody comes up to me at Spangle and they're like, Karina, you're awesome. I'll be like, fuck yeah, how are you? Like whatever. There have been times where it's not that I don't know, like I sort of like have forgotten that I'm me.
Yeah.
In some sort of way, or I'm just like with my friends at a show or whatever. And like completely like just forget somebody might recognize, and they come up and they're like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, hi. Like it's like taking me by surprise. Yeah. And I like forget. I'm like, oh shit, like Karina, you've become a public figure. Like what the fuck? Like yeah, I sort of don't conceive of myself as that, and that somebody might know me and might want a picture with me, or like it's gone through phases of being kind of shocked and like not spooked. That's the wrong. I'm so approachable to a fault. I say that all the fucking time, and it's true. I'm very social. I love people. I love the public. I still, after every show, go to the merch booth afterwards, and I will be there until the last person leaves, and we'll stay for 2 hours, whatever it is, for all of that. And I love staying connected to the fans that way. And I think my fans like really, they get that, and they're like, it's gotten harder because it's gotten bigger and whatever. But like, I really try to respond to my DMs, and I try to respond to like people writing to me and commenting on shit when it's just got a little bit more out of control. Like, and so it's a little bit harder. And there's also stuff that people write that's like pretty crazy. And I'm like, okay, we gotta not be doing that one anymore. All right. You know, like, but there's also people who write, and I wish I had the time to respond, and I don't, like, you know what I mean? It's not just all things happen in this realm. I don't know. I think also I handle all my own social media. Like you'll never ever see something posted that wasn't posted by me. Ever. Nobody has my passwords. Like my managers do not have my passwords, like be it on sales, or even if sometimes it just sort of feels like, buy this ticket, buy this merch, like whatever. Like I still feel like you can tell that there's a real person and it's me behind all that. It's super important to me. And like, I don't know, it's hard to be a business in a lot of ways. And of course it's a hard thing to grapple with, and being like, oh shit, like, yeah, what you do is make music, and music is, to me, everything, among which it's a commodity, and we're running a business here, and like it's a whole.
You're here to make money.
We have to figure it out, you know, and like
you're here to make money. You're not a free nonprofit service. I mean,
no,
come
you
on.
pay me and I show up and I play music for you, you know, and like that's sort of
exactly
the business model, you know, and which is a whole other thing to wrap one's head around and whatever. But I don't know, I feel like I stay connected to the fans pretty freaking well. And I think it shines through that there's a real person behind all of it. It's not just like a corporate. There is no, I mean, trust me, there is nothing corporate about Karina Inc. Like we're out here doing it, raw dogging it every day, figuring it all out, and just, you know, for the love of the music. And I love, you know, being approached at shows now, like I'm in, it's awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Which is why I think we love you, is because you're humble about it. And the fact that you said that you get caught off guard and forget that you're Karina Rykman
Oh, all the
and
time. Yeah.
Karina Rykman. So it's very, that's kind of like, it humbles you as a person because we know you're not like, oh, how dare you come up to
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Nobody would ever say that about Karina. Nobody.
It's not like that. Like if I'm ever like caught off guard, it's because like some like really sweaty wook like was like blah, 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 and I'm like whoa, 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 whoa. Oh right, I'm Karina.
Don't touch me,
Like,
sweaty
ah,
wook.
freak out. Oh shit, right. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Hey. And then I'm like, you want to pick? Sometimes it's it can be wild.
Like staying in that vein, like what are your upcoming goals? Do you have any big things you're working towards right now?
I'm making a record, man. I'm making album 2. I wouldn't even say it's a goal. It's just like it needs to happen and it's happening. Like to me, all the goal is to do this as long as possible. And like whatever helps support that, meaning making records, touring behind them and continuing on and trudging forward, like that's the goal, you know? So right now I'm deeply in the trenches, Monday through Friday, making it rain, writing the songs, trying to find the strongest 10, and then really recording the shit out of them and doing it right and trying to just not get caught up in the fear that comes with all that and being like, oh, sophomore effort, oh my God, how could I ever do it again? Not going to be as good as the other, like, you know, all those things. Again, lobotomize yourself. No, we trudge ahead. That's the main thing. I have my biggest headlining show to date, which is at Webster Hall on May 10th. And that is a huge deal to me. Being a native New Yorker, I've seen all my favorite bands in Webster Hall. And like just the idea that like I could be in a band that would play there at all. I've never even opened for a band there, which seems ridiculous at this point, actually. But
It's your name on the merch.
yeah, dude, it's insane. So that is really, really wild to me. And we're pulling out all the stops for that show. And it's just going to be it's wildly exciting. And it's just really cool. Like, you know, my parents and like my school teachers and my neighbors and my gynecologist, she will be front row. I wish I was kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't wish I was kidding because that is my girl. Shout out to Suzanne. She's the best. She's so awesome. Coolest person ever.
I love that.
So like, you know.
Gotta give your gynecologist credit. I mean, for God's sake.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they do a lot for
Women are
us.
fantastic. Let's talk about what kind of music is on your ear right now. What are you listening to? Who's your favorite band right now?
Well, all I'll say is up until the second we got on this Zoom call, I was listening to my A+ playlist, Bad Bitch Hip Hop, okay? I was drying my hair out the shower, blaring Bad Bitch Hip Hop, which includes Doechii, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Like, let me tell you, this is me being like so not precious about, you know, coming off any certain way, right? But I'm like, these tunes, not only do they get me from point A to point B like fast as a motherfucker, which like in the train, like the subway system here, like I'm going for it, right? I love that. But I was laughing because like all these songs have been hand selected because they are empowerment anthems, and they're all like, it's like, what are any of these songs about? They're all about I'm fucking dope and fuck all y'all and my, you know, literally like put your sticks up for the motherfucking princess. Like, I'm like, yes, Doechii, abso-fucking-lutely, whatever you say, I'm in.
One of my college classes right now is a course called The Genius of Hip Hop, and we like, of course, only touched on women for like one class session. I'm like, this is so underrated. Like everything that they're talking about, female empowerment, like fuck men, fuck you. If you don't think I'm gonna do it, watch me.
It's so great.
So
I'm
underrated.
like, dude,
Can you share this
I'd love
playlist
to.
so we can put it in our
you're
show
gonna freak
notes?
out. You're gonna freak out. You're gonna be like, yes.
We're gonna share this with everybody, so be ready.
I love it. It's so great. Like I said before, I really, really run the gamut when it comes to my listening. Like honestly, and I have another playlist. Let me read you the title of this just because I'm psychotic. It's amazing. It's
Unhinged Karina, that's what we
stay
like.
with me. Okay, ready? This is called If Anybody Saw the Music I Listened to on This Plane, I'd Be Lobotomized. This, like, I'm just like, it's like the degree of like going from one somber thing to the really heavy to really dancey to really sad, like I'm just like, this is really a psychotic playlist, but it's amazing.
It's an eclectic Karina
Sometimes it
playlist.
be like that.
It feels pretty fitting.
Exactly. In terms of new stuff I'm listening, I love this band Geese. You know, really, really obsessed with Geese. I know this is a playlist about, or sorry, a podcast about Goose, but we're going to talk about Geese for
Oh
a
no,
second.
we cover all jam.
I know.
We're probably jammers. We met at Goose, but we
And
see
then
all
we've
sorts of
seen
bands.
Geese because it's a play, people play it off of Goose. So I'm kind of interested. What do you like about them?
I'm a huge fan. I think they're really, really interesting and just a cool, young, also very eclectic rock band. Like, and the singer is this guy named Cameron Winter, who just has this incredible bravado and voice, and like he's so young.
Oh wow.
And they're all so young, and they're all from New York City, and they're just like super, it's hard to even describe. It's very compelling to me. And he just put out a solo record too called Heavy Metal, which is hilarious because there's no drums on the whole record. It's super like Leonard Cohen songwriter vibes, very different from Geese. But I don't know, I sort of see the tea leaves with these guys, and I'm like, dude, it's really cool to see such kind of advanced songwriting and such intense bravado behind these young kids, who are like really out here making it happen. And it's cool they're from New York. They're like scrappy and dope. And I actually, in my relaxing last night, LOL, I also consumed Geese live at Pickathon from, I think, last year, 2024 or 2023. Anyway, it was like a great live show. And I was like, dude, this is so sick. They're really onto some shit. Yeah, so shout out Geese. Shout out Geese. I also, my dear friends who I toured with when Joyride came out, I was like, I've been a fan for so long. This band is called Gorilla Toss. Guerilla, you know what I mean? Like guerrilla warfare. Mm-hmm. Gorilla Toss fucks so hard. I'm such a huge fan for a long time. The fact that I convinced them to tour with me was so like, I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. And it was. Female fronted band, by the way.
That's the best.
Shout out Cassie. Really cool, psychedelic, signed to Sub Pop, has like a punk undercurrent, but definitely has crazy synthy, ethereal, guitar-y shit going on. I love those guys. I just think they're really great. I know you didn't ask me about like new up and coming shit that I'm into, just what I'm listening to.
No, we don't care.
I'm shouting out Geese and Gorilla Toss right now for sure. I mean, there's so much to shout out. I was talking to my parents last night. I was like, I am a rabid consumer of music. Like I devour it, like so much of it, and it's such a crazy variety, such that like, and I listen to a lot of like esoteric jazz, like a lot of like Micaiah McCraven, this guy, really into Micaiah McCraven right now, and also I listen to heavy metal every day of my life. I get absolutely about it, and I'm talking old school. Like I love Slayer, I love Pantera, I also love Mastodon. Mastodon just has a really tragic lineup change. Anyway, lots of different music.
Yeah, no, that's what we wanted to hear. We want to hear what you're listening to, and that's fantastic, which explains your sound too. Your sound goes from heavy metal all the way down to the indie pop. So it's,
oh yeah,
I love that connects the dots for us.
Of course.
So we're going to wrap up, and we loved talking to you. This was fantastic.
So mutual.
It's so refreshing to talk to somebody who's just excited about what they do and are willing to share that with us. It's a beautiful thing.
Especially these days, it feels like there's a lot of heavy shit in the world. So like having some of that joy and passion come through is really refreshing.
Thank you. Very special. Thank you. So lastly, we at the Femme Flock are all about celebrating inspiring and influential women. Can you tell us about a woman who has inspired you?
I mean, not to be like too corny about it, but what I would, first and foremost, let's just shout out my mother.
Right on.
Because Anne, like my mom is such a cool person and like such a, we couldn't be doing more different, like, being the head of a French department and teaching French for 47 years at the same institution seems like a very different thing than playing in a rock band and touring the country. But the way my mother comports herself is so awesome. And she is so like self-assured in this crazy way that I feel so lucky to have grown up the only child of this woman, because first of all, she had me at 42.
Wow. Bless her heart.
Me too.
You too?
Wait, I had the same. Yeah, my mom had me at 42 and my siblings at
That's
45.
incredible.
And I think it made them better parents.
I do too.
I identify with a lot of the stuff you were talking about in the beginning of like, they were so ready for kids and were ready to invest in us and gave us everything we could have ever wanted because they had lived their lives. And
I super
I'm
feel
very honored to have older parents.
Me too, in a huge way. My dad's even older than that, you know, like my dad, like he was like 48 or 49, like by the time, whatever. So like, you know, they're older, but they're, again, like they're smart about life, and they're smart about, they really, really lived a whole life without me, and then were so ready for a life with me, you know what I mean? And that just, I don't know, it trickled down. And I don't know, a woman who inspired me is my mother in such a huge way, because she also, you know, she was born to 2 Holocaust survivors. They were captured in the war, my grandparents, and then were liberated by the Americans, like on a train that happened to be in Belgium at the time, but they were captured. They were going to be like, you know, killed. And they ran and they settled in Belgium and had my mom and her brother. And then my mom lived there in Belgium till she was like 14. And then they emigrated to Toronto. And then my mom like spent her teenage years in Toronto and like figured it all out. But then she got a taste of New York when she was 20, or in her early 20s, basically. And she was like, I have to live here. This is for me. And she just literally, like, the stories are insane, but she fought tooth and nail to get that position at Barnard, which she's had since the 70s, that she still has today. And it's just like one of those things where like she's like slept with her head on a fucking, you know, dictionary for a pillow when she first got here, and she had nothing, but she was so happy to just be here and have figured something out. I don't know. She's an amazing example of just like, you have to believe that what you're doing is gonna work out, and like what you're doing is the right thing for you.
Oh, that's great.
I have a lot of musical examples too, but I feel like that's a more poignant one.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. She sounds like a beautiful person. That's so amazing.
I'm lucky because I know you can't pick it. You can't. I won a lottery in that regard for sure. And we're super close. She's like the brunette version of your girl, you know?
Awesome.
So
post pictures of your parents next time. We want to see what they look like with you and all happy and proud of
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Hopefully we'll see you at a show sometime in Kalamazoo.
Definitely. Yes. Bell's Brewing. I'll be there.
Please
I'll be there.
come down.
So honored you came to talk to us. This was incredible. Like, seriously, thank you for taking the time. You are welcome back whenever you want. We will be catching you everywhere.
Thank you for spending time with us, Karina. We appreciate you and we love you so much. We cannot wait to see what's coming from you next.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. This is so lovely. Thanks for taking the time and having great, cool questions and being dope.
This pod is made by women for everyone. We wouldn't be here without you, and we want to hear from all of you. Check out our website, thefemmeflock.com, that's FEMME, where you can find links to our guest form, our socials, and all our episodes. Also, DM us on Blue Sky, Instagram, or Facebook to let us know what you're up to. If you're hosting a community-focused event or want to promote something, tag us on the socials. And for anyone looking to connect with other women in the jam scene, check out our Reddit community, r/thefemmeflock. Thanks for listening. See you at the next show, and flock on.
Osiris.